Hello. What's going on, everybody? We have made it. We have made it to Wednesday, March 6th. It's 50 degrees outside here in northern New Jersey. It's a bit rainy today, cloudy and rainy. And man, it is amazing. I always say this, but it really is amazing what the weather can do. You know what I'm saying? It really is. I am doing well, very busy, but things are coming along. We got Aaron in the building. Hello, how are you? How you doing today? I'm feeling pretty good. I'm a little tired. I got, but I guess when we were younger, we wanted to grow up so bad. It was like, oh, I can't wait to be an adult. Now we got here, and it's like, goodness gracious, like, sheesh, I just want a break. You know what I mean? Like, I just want some regular good sleep. You get some good sleep here and there, but God, but life is still good. Life is still good. So, hold on, let me see. My bad. I was looking to see what we got today because I got something else pulled up and I don't know why it's up here. But it's good. 59 degrees, stoned assassin. Jeremy, what's going on? So, we all know that Super Tuesday was yesterday, and to no one's surprise, Donald Trump swept, Joe Biden swept. It continues to be Biden versus Trump. But I mean, realistically, there still doesn't really seem to be, excuse me, there still really doesn't seem to be a clear winner of this presidential competition because Donald Trump is continuing to underperform his projections in the polls. Joe Biden is, as we know, his polling numbers haven't been good, but I mean, Trump. I think it was like he underperformed by something like 20 points in Virginia yesterday. And what we've been seeing frequently is, him underperforming by 6, 7, 8, 9 points, 10 points in these races. The polls just really haven't been that spot on. But what we do know is that this is still very much a high competition race. So the Biden campaign is going to have to wake up, come together with more of a game plan than staying in the basement. And I don't even know what's going on with with Donald Trump. I don't know what the hell he's gonna do. But again, it's still pretty much a dead heat tie. Now, Mitch McConnell. We know the other day he stepped down from leadership. He stepped down from Republican leadership in the Senate, and he will be finishing out this term. Yeah, it's really not a yeah, I agree, Teddy. It's really not a legit competition. It's kind of it's two guys who the overwhelming majority of people would rather not really see. Um, but yeah, so Mitch McConnell, who was called Donald Trump's greatest opponent in the Senate, which is funny to me, stepped down from Senate Republican leadership, and he also endorsed Donald Trump for president. So we're gonna check that out. Now, one of the things, I didn't even look. Oh, damn. Well, what I am happy about though, I'm happy that Katie Porter she's got a lot of time left. I'm hoping that she can become senator, but at some point. But if Schiff gets in there, which probably will, well, looking like he is now, he might be in there for a long time. But hopefully, we'll see some fruit. Either way, huge fan of Katie Porter. Now, yes. Now, see, this is the thing I was thinking. What I was laughing about with Mitch McConnell endorsing Trump is it's like while Donald Trump still may end up winning the presidency, it's like was all of the risk really worth it? Was it really worth it? Considering how much damage has been done to the party overall, and um, obviously we know that the Republican Party has bigger issues than just Trump. Their abortion stances and what have you. But it's like y'all really could have went with anybody else because at the end of the day, all of these guys are the same. You know what I'm saying? All these guys are the same when it comes to policy, at least. They may not be the same in behavior, but when it comes to policy, they're the exact same. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell Wednesday endorsed Donald Trump for president. McConnell a Republican from Kentucky, we know this, said his support of Donald Trump as a Republican nominee should come as no surprise in the announcement that came on the heels of Nikki Haley suspending her campaign. Yeah, it's definitely not a surprise. It's just, again, it's just funny because at the end of the day, for how glued the Republican Party is to Donald Trump, it just doesn't seem to be worth it in the long run. It just doesn't. I mean, God, they could have went with so many people, and in the same policy positions would have been there. Because at the end of the day, they all line up.
It is abundantly clear that former President Trump has earned the requisite support of Republican voters to be our nominee for President of the United States.
McConnell, and too, I mean, McConnell, McConnell doesn't care about anything. I mean, McConnell has one of the, just corrupt, ugly political careers in modern times, and he doesn't care. He don't care. So he don't care about this either. Oh, Fritza, hello. But yeah, it's like, of course, he's right. This is no surprise. McConnell went on to note that he and Trump worked together to accomplish great things during his previous term as president, including installing 3 conservative justices on the Supreme Court, altering the federal judiciary, and implementing tax reform. Well, hey, they did get that done. They did get that done. To the grief of the majority, they got it accomplished.
I look forward to the opportunity of switching from playing defense against the terrible policies of the Biden administration has pursued to a sustained offense geared toward making a real difference in improving the lives of the American people.
The endorsement comes after McConnell, 82, last week announced he will step down as Republican leader in November after 17 days. Thank you. Thank you, Teddy. I appreciate it. I have a couple of impressions that are definitely spot on. Not all of them are, but some of them happen to be. McConnell held off on his endorsement. He just had to wait and see. Maybe somebody was going to come up from the depths and take Trump out, but he just had to wait to make it appropriate. McConnell and Trump have clashed on policy issues, including aid to Ukraine, and despite joining 42 other senators in voting to acquit Trump in his impeachment trial over his actions related to January 6, 2021 riots at the U.S. Capitol, McConnell said he bore some responsibility.
There's no question, none, that President Trump is practically and morally responsible for provoking the events of the day. No question about it. The people who stormed this building believed they were acting on the wishes and instructions of their president.
And that's what he said at the time. Senator Joni Ernst of Iowa, all right, she went on ahead and she was like, I'm going to go ahead and throw my support behind him too. We must beat Joe Biden and get this country back on track. Donald Trump has my support. Now we just got to wait and see if Nikki Haley's gonna, because Nikki Haley's done, but we got to wait to see if she's gonna end up endorsing Trump. Probably. I certainly won't be surprised if that happens. Hold on, what is this? No, we don't need to go over that. We don't need to go over that. That was just kind of more information on the same stuff. Now, Speaker Johnson calls for defunding federal law enforcement agencies that have turned against the American people.
We have advanced, and we also advanced, as you've seen the summary, cuts to some of the agencies that we believe are really overreaching and have been turned in some ways against the American people. We're going to cut 3% from DOJ, 7% from the ATF, 6% from the FBI, and 10% from the EPA, and that's just a start. We have a lot more priorities and things that we need to advance, but the reality is, as we all recognize, is that we have to grow the House majority, take back the Senate for the Republican Party, and win the White House. And I'm here to tell you the reason we're optimistic is We believe those things are going to happen in November. We can't wait. That day can't get here soon enough.
There's no way Republican insiders believe they're going to take the House. There's no way to believe that. None. No way. Y'all might get the presidency, but I mean, and obviously, I mean, why would he wouldn't go out to the public and say, oh, we're kind of screwed when it comes to the down ballot races. Of course, he wouldn't say that, but they really are. Republicans are in trouble. The trend of them losing all these races is not going to all of a sudden come to a halt in 8 months. That's not going to happen. Which is good news for us. It's certainly good news for us, but yeah, no, it's at the end of the day, the country and especially younger generations, and by younger, I really mean Gen X and below, honestly, 50 and below, I would say. Pretty much everybody 50 and below is not on board with these far right wing policies. Obviously, you have a good chunk of them that are, but overall, nah, man, people ain't feeling that, and that's why y'all have been very, very much underperforming in the polls. All right, we got Jesse Waters here. The genius that is he. Let me, my bad. Take this off. I know Fritz is just totally pleased. I know Fritz is totally pleased that we're about to go over this over Jesse Waters. I think I saw some stuff on social media about this, like a truck and this woman was dangling and she ended up getting saved. Hell of a situation. But Jesse Waters, he had to go in there. Imagine getting paid millions of dollars a year to not just be an idiot, but also just be disliked. And this is what he had to say, Jesse Waters, after this woman got saved from dangling.
So it was a female driver? Is that what happened?
I knew.
I'm not saying
You
that just
did
asking
not.
for a driver. I'm just
did
asking
not.
because I want to know from the females. So it was a female driver? Is that what happened?
I knew.
I'm not.
And the thing about like Jesse Waters is it's like, again, he's like the decently handsome dumb jock on Fox News. Yeah, see, I knew Fritz was just gonna be so thrilled and so delighted that we got this up right now. But it's like this. It's not even funny because I mean, and it's not really. Why are you making jokes? Why are you making jokes about this? He's like, it was a woman driver, right? Like, it's like, bro, like, what decade do you think it is? That joke was funny, like in the 50s and the 70s, but like, you could say so many other jokes about women that would be funnier than that.
I'm saying
You
that just
did
asking
not.
for a driver. I'm just
did
asking
not.
because I want to know from the females at the table.
Who are no
When the
longer
female
talking to you.
driver was rescued by that heroic, strapping young man, do you think she has feelings for him now?
Like, what? Huh? And all the women are like, huh? Like, what? Do you think she has feelings for him now? He's so dumb.
Heroic, strapping young man, do you think she has feelings for him now?
What did you say?
You heard me.
Romantic
That's the
feelings?
worst question I've ever heard in my
Do
life.
you think
Like, they're all like, huh?
if you're dangling and this man has you like this around?
He's so lame. This man deflated his wife. Now this dude stabbed her tires to get at her. Like, I'm interested in this woman. How should I get her attention? I know. I'll stab her tires, which is honestly terrifying. Like that's like borderline personality disorder type shit. This dude that's crazy type of shit right there. But he's just not funny.
And he's saving your life. Do you think you might develop feelings?
I think he's grateful, yes. I
The
think he would be
producers
grateful.
are actually trying to save your job, so I've got to move on. Up next.
She said the producers are trying to save your job, so I got to move on. Because again, it was like, bro, like, you're not even funny. It's not even like what you said is just like, oh, I'm so offended. I mean, honestly, like most people aren't going to be genuinely offended by this because it's Jesse Waters. You know what I'm saying? It's Jesse Waters. So when he says stuff like this, it's just like, It's more of an eye roll than you really taking time out of your day to be genuinely mad. But like, what? Do you think do you think she has feelings for him now? Like, he's so weird. He's so weird, man.
Driver, I'm just asking
And
because
look at how all of them were looking at him like, huh? Because that's just a strange thing to say.
I want to know from the females at the table.
Who are no
When the
longer
female
talking to you.
driver was rescued by that heroic, strapping young man, do you think she has feelings for him now?
What did you say?
You heard me.
Romantic
That's the worst question I've ever heard in my
Do
life.
you think if you're
These are a
dangling,
bunch of these are conservative. I mean, not Jessica Tarlow, but but the other one, they're more conservative women. They're like, and you know what's funny is it's like, conservative women don't like the alpha male stuff either. Like there might be like the trad wives and stuff, or the content creators who talk about masculinity and femininity all the time, but conservative women don't like this shit either because they're people, like this is just creepy loser shit.
and this man has you like this around and he's saving your life, do you think you might develop feelings?
I think you'd be grateful, yes. I
The
think you would be
producers are
grateful.
actually trying to save your job, so I've got to move on. Up next, who in their right mind works out of 4?
Oh my god, it's just like, oh god, man, you're such a creep. That was so cringe, man. That was so crazy. Okay, we got Trump going off on Nikki Haley because, of course. Exactly. Exactly, Maria. He's not even funny. It's like, you see stuff like that and it's like that was just too dumb for me to genuinely be mad. But he's just an idiot. Oh, we got Marjorie Taylor Greene. What we got, man? We zooming through this one. Monday, our live stream on Monday was pretty long. Normally Mondays are shorter, but we streamed for a little over an hour and a half on Monday. Today's stream is not going to be nearly that long, but we're having a good time. I mean, most of the news is about Super Tuesday, and we basically already went over what there is to go over from the results of Super Tuesday, and that it's still unclear who's going to win. It just is, because Donald Trump is when it actually comes time for people to go to the polls, to go to the voting booth, rather. When it comes time for people to go vote, he is not doing the numbers that his polls are saying. He's not. So I don't know what the hell to tell you, man. It's still a nail biter, and it's probably gonna stay that way for quite some time, which is a shame, but it is what it is. All right, well, let's see. Let's check out Trump's victory speech, or some of it at least. At least some of it right there. All right, let's see. After Jesse Waters after Fox News, after he's done with them, he has nothing left because he's not talented, he's not intelligent, he's not pleasant. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't even have that going for himself. He's not a pleasant person. But he makes a lot of money with Fox, so he'll probably be all right. He'll probably be just fine. Yes, she did. She did pull that off in Vermont. And eventually she's going to come out and she'll endorse Donald Trump because we have to stop Joe Biden. AKA, I want a career in the Republican Party going forward. If Nikki Haley doesn't endorse Donald Trump, MAGA will never forgive her for it. Never. Oh yeah, Maria, we got that pulled up. Oh yeah, I forgot about that, but we're gonna check that out. I got that thing pulled up, and we gonna see. Now let's check some of this out. Trump's victory speech from gilded Mar-a-Lago ballroom filled with supposed celebrities. I think people were laughing because like he didn't have free drinks at his event. My man's is strapped for cash like a mug, man. This dude, he got people buying drinks at Mar-a-Lago. A billionaire. You would, yo, that's hilarious. This dude, he's selling them ugly ass shoes that ain't nobody buying. Selling pieces of his suit, that the suit that he wore when he got his picture taken, when he got arrested. That suit, my man's no free drinks.
Our country greater than ever before, and we're going to do it quickly. We're going to do it quickly. It's going to go fast.
Yes, exactly, for Primus. Tucker Carlson is definitely more intelligent than Jesse Waters. Jesse Waters is dumb. I mean, he is, God, he's just one of those guys that's like, man, are you all right, man? Like, like, do I need to consider you special needs or something? Because I feel like if I make fun of you, I'm gonna be an asshole because you too dumb for your own good. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, this guy is he's so dumb. But let's continue.
Our country
Distracted Gardner, hello.
greater than ever before, and we're going to do it quickly. We're going to do it quickly. It's going to go fast. We have to get the criminals out. We have many, many criminals that have entered our country. We have people coming in from such bad places, and we're going to have to get them out. We have murderers that are being deposited into our country. We have drug dealers.
I wonder if Republicans imagine, even though they always forget that Obama got rid of more undocumented immigrants than Trump did, but they have to imagine in their mind, because everything's like a video game to them. Donald Trump, they're just fans of him. It's like sports, like a superhero character, like Spider-Man, Batman's it's the same type of infatuation. It's the exact same type of infatuation. I mean, this guy
At the biggest, highest levels, they're coming into our country.
Like, they imagine that there's just going to be like millions of police officers, storming through the streets of America, just throwing everybody out. I guess that's what they imagine.
We have people coming into our country that just shouldn't be here, but many, and I say many, large percentages, they come in through the caravans, they come in many different ways. Now we find out again, they come in through airplanes, we send them in. This is crazy. But they come into our country, we're going to stop them. We're going to close our borders. We're going to have to deport a lot of people, a lot of bad people, because our countries can't live like this. Our cities are choking to death. Our states are dying. And frankly, our country is dying. And we're going to make America great again, greater than ever before. Thank you very much. It's been a big night. Thank you very much.
Right. And he tried to post less than 25% of the like 400 million, almost $500 million that he owed after that. He's like, let me just put up 100 million. I was like, nah, bro, you got to do the whole thing. Man, this is God. This nation, huh? This nation. Now here we go. This guy. Where they was all coming through the border in El Caminos, just lined up like centipedes, just coming in one by one. All right, now we got my man's Mark Robinson, this wonderful guy. This dude, man, he just seems like a mean asshole. Like, he just comes in, he's like, the biggest guy in the room, and he huffs and he puffs and then he leaves. That's just kind of his swag.
Abortion is a scourge that needs to be run out of this land.
It's not your body anymore. It's y'all's body. And yes, that includes the daddy.
So many things were lost during the Civil Rights Movement. So many freedoms were lost during the Civil Rights Movement. They shouldn't have been lost.
I love the
What is he talking about? So many freedoms were lost during the civil rights movement. I'd have to listen longer to whatever that interview is. Like, well, what came after that? What did you say after that?
Pass a law that restricts abortion. We could pass a bill saying you can't have an abortion in North Carolina for any reason.
This little minor thing happens in January. Says, oh, rise and horrible.
If there's a movement in this country that is demonic and that is full of the spirit of Antichrist, it is the transgender movement.
Hold on.
Trans is full country.
I think in one of the full well, it looks like he's on the floor at Congress here. Well, not Congress. He's not in Congress, but whatever. He looks like he's on the floor of some congressional assembly hall. That's what he looks like he is right here. But he was saying similar stuff like this, and then on the podium it said Jesus is. It either said it said Jesus is Lord. It said Jesus and Lord, and he was just up there like, gay people suck and women are terrible and transgender people are an abomination. And right underneath it, it's like, Jesus is love, bro.
That is demonic and that is full of the spirit of Antichrist.
Yeah, he's just a mean guy. Like he's the type of dude that I'd just rather not be around. Like he just seems spiteful. Like he actively goes after. He's just a big bully. He seems like he spends his time just going after people who can't really, defend themselves from him.
It is the transgender movement.
Homosexuality, any of that filth. And yes, I called it filth.
Abortion.
Like, bro, why are you so mad? Some go like, he's so upset. Like every time you see him, he just he just got so much animosity.
Yes, I called it filth.
Abortion is a scourge that needs to be run out of this land.
God, yeah, please, North Carolina, don't let this guy win, because first and foremost, most importantly, nobody needs this guy. He really does. He's just a hateful asshole. He's just one of those guys. Like, unfortunately, he's got a lot of political power, but if he didn't, he's one of those guys you'd end up like just, no one likes him. But yeah, North Carolina, please don't let this dude win. I don't think much of anyone will really enjoy him, honestly. I think honestly, if he won, he would end up getting on Republicans' nerves, because he's just he's so much. He's too much. And he gets off on it. And he genuinely seems to be that angry. Like he doesn't seem like he's grifting. Like he seems like a guy who's just full of hatred and anger, and he just wants to hurt somebody. But yeah, North Carolina, please don't do it. Y'all don't need him. And also, this may be this is much less important, but I don't want to talk about this guy, man. I don't want to have to talk about this dude. So please, North Carolina, if you don't do it for yourselves, do it for this little old YouTube streamer. do it for this small time YouTube streamer. If you don't do it for anybody else, but God, don't let that guy win. He's just ugh. All right, what's Karl Rove talking about? What's my man's Karl Rove got to say? Apparently he's got some warnings for Republicans. Oh no, this is not right. We need to have it. There we go. Team Trump ought to be concerned. Karl Rove cautions former president following Super Tuesday victories. What does he have to say?
Definitely. And we're tracking the delegates as well. Let's bring in Karl Rove now. Karl.
And I just don't really often, you'll see a lot of people who will say, like, who will compare Biden's primary numbers to Trump's. And I don't really know how valuable that is, because people aren't running against Biden the same way that they're running against Trump. So I think that other than like the uncommitted votes, like the uncommitted votes for Biden, that says a lot. That data is really important. But other than that, I think the primary votes are more indicative for Donald Trump, because he's really running in a primary. So like when he's coming up short 30%, underperforming by over a dozen points in some states, that's more indicative than Joe Biden winning 95% of the vote. Because, I mean, there's not really a real primary against him. But again, those uncommitted votes, that says a lot.
Super Tuesday, you've been through a lot of them. What are your thoughts on this one?
Strong night for Donald Trump. We've got the big enchiladas yet to come in the form of Texas and California. But I wouldn't be surprised if, given what he's doing in the rest of the country, he didn't take California, where if you get 50% plus one, you take all of the delegates. So a very good night for him. And it's in all likelihood his campaign's projection that they're going to win a majority of the delegates by either by later in the month, the 19th at the latest, is probably accurate. Having said that, the high command of Team Trump ought to be concerned about unifying the Republican Party, because as we see in the
Yes, and that's one of the most important differences too, is the Democratic Party can easily move on without Joe Biden, easily. But the Republican Party is going to have a very difficult time moving on without Trump being either in power or on the cusp of being in power. Without that being the case, Republicans are really in a disastrous position because they've totally bent the knee and totally branded themselves after this one individual. But that's not an issue facing the Democrat. After 2024, there's going to be so many doors open through the Democratic Party because it's not totally bent off on one person and one man's identity.
in these states, a third of the vote in Virginia, 43% of the vote in Massachusetts going to Nikki Haley, a quarter of the vote in North Carolina. Maine has now dropped down to about a quarter of the vote, but it was 31% for Nikki Haley. Vermont, 48%. There's still some work to be done to unify the Republican Party, and that's going to depend a lot on his tone tonight and whether or not he stops doing things like calling her bird brain and threatening that if you give money to her campaign, you're going to be permanently banned.
Bird brain Nikki Haley's just not intelligent. She's not intelligent.
And we'll see how he does tonight. He did well in Iowa with his victory statement, unifying, humble, gracious. Not so good in New Hampshire, and tonight is going to be the big night, and he's going to set an important tone for either a unified Republican Party or a divided Republican Party.
Yep.
Man, this race is so trash. This presidential race is just, and I mean, I guess realistically, well, generally speaking, incumbent elections are not that close, generally speaking. Sometimes they are, but usually they're not. Not like this. But other than that, I mean, you typically don't really have that strong of a certainty on what's going to go down until you're a lot closer to November. But right now, it's way more than normal. It just is, because everywhere you look, you just see that neither one of these guys are popular, and neither one of them are really going to be able to capture a whole new audience. I don't, so exactly. Wake us all up when it's 2028. Yes, exactly, Maria. We got to grit our teeth for for these next handful of years. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be obnoxious. It's gonna be everything. But there, in fact, is a lot of silver lining. There really is. We just got to be patient, and we got to be strong. We got to keep the fight alive. Okay, now speaking of, Trump tears into very angry person Nikki Haley, says he hopes she will straighten out. Former President Donald Trump tore into his Republican presidential rival Nikki Haley on Tuesday, calling her crazy and a very angry person. During a Super Tuesday podcast interview with Mark Levin, Trump criticized Haley. He's so dumb, man. And again, this is why I'm saying, like, at every turn, he does everything he can to make it harder for himself. Trump criticized Haley for breaking her previous promise that she would never run against him. Dude, get over it. Get over it. He didn't, bro. He didn't even have the wherewithal to congratulate her or at least say nothing when she won, when she destroyed him in DC. Both him and his official campaign were like,
Nikki Haley's a traitor. She's a stupid bird brain who initially said she would never run against Donald Trump, but now she is, and she's so unpopular, and I did so well in this state, and she lost to Ron DeSantis, and
like, it's he said,
for 2.5 years, she said, I will never ever run against this president. He was the greatest president in my lifetime. He was a great president. I will never run. And then went on for a couple of years, and that was nice.
Trump told Levin.
I thought that was respectful, very nice.
I thought that was respectful. This dude, man, narcissism to the max. Like, God, you really are out of your mind, bro. He continued.
And then I started hearing that maybe she'll run and that she now says she's gonna run. And at the beginning, she was very nice, very respectful, and then she's gone crazy, and I've never seen anything like it. She holds up a piece of paper which is false, tells a lot of false things.
Like, dude, why are you even... Exactly, she didn't say never. She didn't say never. But even at that, it's like, bro, you're the front runner. You already won this. Why are you talking about this, man? And again, the thing is, you got to keep in mind, Donald Trump is like, bro, he's almost 80. He doesn't have the excuse of, oh, he's a young man. He's just a young man who's filled with tons of testosterone and immaturity. He just doesn't have the experience yet. Like, nah, bro, this man is at the end of his rope. This is just who he is. Ridiculing Haley for delivering a victory speech in Iowa in January, despite finishing third behind Florida Governor DeSantis. Trump added,
she's become really angry, and I think it's that she's just getting nowhere.
Donald Trump calling other people angry. You know, the man who be up at 4 a.m. going off on people. This dude be up at 5:30 in the morning. Excellent point. Excellent point. It's how he's still kicking, man. It's how he's still going. Yes, he is indeed the king of Pettyville. It's like, bro, like, I mean, man, we have never, ever witnessed a man this petty. Ever. Never. But that's a good point. It's what keeps him going. You know, if it wasn't for this, he probably would have passed a while ago, because it's not like he's super up there. But what else does a guy like Donald Trump really have to live for? If a man like Donald Trump woke up one day and allowed himself to be real with himself, oh God, it would just decades of not just failure, because everybody fails, you know, from time to, you know, we all fail, and we win and we fail. It's not just the decades of failure, it's the decades of lies and corruption and just you being a fraud. If he woke up one day and really looked at himself in the mirror, he wouldn't die. My man's would crumble into dust. He would just totally evaporate into dust. You know what I'm saying? Like just that's what would happen. Just the shame and the realness would be like, and just dry out his sails, and poof. That's all it would be. You know what I'm saying? That's what would happen. Good point. Oh, and he's not done yet.
She's gone haywire. She's getting nowhere. She's actually going down. Her numbers are going down. So, and she's a very angry person. So we'll see if she straightens out. Maybe she will.
One of a kind, man. One of a kind. Ain't nobody in the world like this guy, man. You know, unfortunately for all of us, and honestly, unfortunately for himself, he actually became president. His life would be so much better if he had never actually become president, man. He's not having fun. He's not having fun. There's no way he's having fun, man. Come on. Okay, now here we go with the most Florida shit you've ever seen in your life. Okay, we got to flip to Florida. Severed pig's head left at work to threaten employee who asked about pay. What you think this is? You think this the Godfather or something? The fuck is going on? You think you what? Martin Scorsese or some shit? What the hell is happening? A severed pig's head left at an employee's workstation was an unmistakable act of intimidation, according to federal labor officials who likened the incident to a scene from the. I said that before you read it. Like, what you think this is? Who you think you is? You this man think he Marlon Brando. Tosh Pork LLC, a farm and pork producer in Henry County, Tennessee, is accused of retaliating against two employees who asked about pay. If it's that serious, well, I guess these employees maybe they know the law well, because he was like, I can't just fire them, because maybe if I fire them, they'll be like, hey, you can't fire me for this, and then they'll file a lawsuit. So instead, I'll cut off a pig's head. Oh, I know. I'll get in trouble for firing them for unethical reasons. So instead, I'll threaten to take their lives. That's the ultimate solution. And then because it's like, naturally and logically, the next step, you know what I'm saying? The next step after a threat like that, you're gonna have to back it up in some type of way. I would imagine the next step after that is, breaking a leg, breaking an arm, or just hurting somebody really bad. And then the step after that would be snuffing them out. But it's like, oh, I know. I'll get in trouble for this. So instead, I'll do something worse. That'll get me in even more trouble. People are so dumb sometimes, man. I mean, God, and I say this all the time, people are incredible. We're so amazing, the things we can do. But, oh, God, man, we are also just so dumb. You'll watch true crime and you'll be watching it and you'll be like, how the hell did these people think they was going to get away with this? But when we're not in our right minds, we're not in our right minds. On January 23rd, the employees asked Tosh Pork why they weren't paid overtime and were threatened with termination if they kept discussing the issue, according to the complaint filed in federal court on February 21st. When one employee returned to his workspace, he found the severed pig's head, the complaint says. In supporting court documents, Acting Secretary of Labor Julie Sue referenced a scene from The Godfather, a 1972 film about an Italian-American crime family. Don Corleone, played by Marlon Brando, has his consigliere place a horse's head in the bed of a Hollywood producer after making him an offer he can't refuse. A memorandum says, quote, this was clearly a threat meant to intimidate, like the pig's head was here. It's like, bro, like, why leave that much amazing? Why leave that much hard evidence? Why leave this much hard evidence? If it's like that, then you might as well just fire them. You know what I mean? Like, if it's that serious, then just fire them. I know. Like, this is depraved. This is just a depraved thing to do. Man, if I came to work and there was a severed pig's head, and again, it's easy for me to say this. I don't know everyone's situation, but bro, I'll be like, bro, this better be a joke. Because if it's not, you threatening me right now. And if you threatening me like this, then, I ought to threaten you worse. It's like you don't play with people like this, man. You don't play. This is just dumb. The Department of Labor filed the complaint in a motion seeking a temporary restraining order to prevent retaliation against the two employees. In a statement to McClatchy News on March 5th, Tosh Pork said the company, quote, denies it engaged in the retaliatory conduct alleged by the Department of Labor and intends to vigorously defend itself in court. And again, these are the types of things. It's like, all you had to do was not that, and everything would be all right. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's that simple. All you had to do was not that, and shit would have worked out just fine. But people can't. That's not easy enough for people. You had all these opportunities. You had so many opportunities to change course and backtrack and not do this. And at no point did anything go off in your mind to say, you know what? I don't know, man. This might be a bad idea. Everything would be good if you just didn't do what you did. In May of 2022, following an initial complaint by the two employees who are married, that's even worse. Threatening a couple like that. The Department of Labor's Wage and Hour Division began investigating Tosh Pork, according to court documents. Tosh Pork has sold pork and crops grown on its farm to major companies such as JBS, USA, Kroger, and Costco, according to the Department of Labor. The company hires people from other countries to work on its 11,000 acres of farmland as part of the H-2A Agricultural Guest Worker Program. After the employee's complaint was filed, Tosh Pork tasked one of them with duties that weren't a part of her job, including cleaning offices, bathrooms, and pig waste, even though she was meant to provide veterinary care to the farm's pigs. Oh, they're just making it worse and worse for themselves. It's like, again, now another example. It's like how to make it worse for yourself at every turn. I mean, some people really do stuff like this, and that doesn't make us all bad. But sometimes we're just screwed up in the head just right to where it's like, okay, how can I screw this up so I don't have to act? I mean, well, this is different. These motherfuckers are just tripping. I was about to go on a whole tirade that didn't really make any sense. These people are just fucked up. And they're making it worse for themselves. As a result, the Wage and Hour Division determined that Tosh Pork owed them $39,375 in back wages and assessed $36,731 in civil money penalties. It really doesn't pay to be an asshole. It doesn't. All you had to do was not cut off a pig's head. And before you even got there, all you had to do was pay them what you owed them. Bro, you owed them almost $40,000 in back pay. That is purposeful. How do you just accidentally not pay somebody $40,000? That's not a couple of nights or a couple of weeks of overtime. That's like I've been on overtime the whole goddamn time I've been working here. In December of 2023, the other employee who filed the initial complaint noticed his manager acting differently, including by yelling at him, glaring at him while he worked, and unnecessarily criticizing his work. On January 23rd, Tosh Pork met with the two employees separately and told them the company knew they were involved in written communications with other employees questioning Tosh Pork's failure to pay overtime. This is, and again, man, people like, corporatists who act like this, they really honestly feel like they're in the right when they do stuff like this. Like, how dare my employees want to be paid? Like, how dare you want to be paid for your time, you stupid son of a bitch? Like, but that they really feel that way. Like it's not because they don't have the money. It's because they feel like, exactly, Fritz. That's like a whole year's wage. That's not like, oh, whoops. That's not like, oh, you know what, Charlie? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I accidentally missed this. That is just, we not gonna pay these people. Whoever is in managers' positions, this is some miserable company culture. Though the meetings were separate, Tosh Pork gave both employees the same warning that they'd be fired if they didn't stop talking to coworkers about overtime issues. We don't want the whole workforce leaving now. We can't have that. We don't want everybody in here to realize that they're being ripped off and screwed over. This just gets worse and worse. Tosh Pork also ordered them to sign a document to ensure their silence. And again, it's like at the end of the day, like it's not even like this is like hush hush. You know, we don't want it getting out to the public that we owe you millions of dollars. Y'all owe these people $40,000 and you got it. You feel me? Like I can't imagine that a company that operates on 11,000 acres of land doesn't have $40,000 to get to cough up. They got the money. That's bullshit. $40,000 is nothing when you're that big. It's something to an individual, but to a company that size, that is nothing. The employee who found the severed pig's head afterward contacted his manager about the discovery and was told to get rid of it. Get rid of it. Toshpork implicitly threatened him with unspecified harm by placing or causing to be placed a severed pig's head in his way. Yeah, man. I mean, but they messed up a long time. Like, because they could have gotten sued. They could have gotten sued and lost, even if they never put the severed pig's head down there. All they had to do, Areola, hello. All they had to do, well, rather, the defendants, they could have still won this case by just saying, hey, these people owe me a year's worth of back pay. You know, that's a pretty winnable case. But on top of the severed head, I mean, again, Florida, if this ain't some Florida shit. That's so whack, but so Florida. So whack, but so very Florida. So very, very Florida. Yeah, exactly, Stoned Assassin. They got the money, man. Like, come on. Look, after, because this is what happens. I mean, you can always screw things up. You know, giant companies, banks blow their money, screw up their finances all the time. That's nothing new. But at the end of the day, the saying too big to fail is real, because when so many people rely on you, the economy can't really afford to just have you disappear all of a sudden. So even if you don't have the money, you get, like you pointed out, you get bailed out. You know, you get all these loans, because even if you're in a financially difficult situation, you're still a good investment because everybody's using your shit. You know, everybody's eating your products, everybody's wearing your clothes. So there's hope for improvement. These people got $40,000, man. Come on, because that's not even a lot of money when you're talking about a multi-billion-dollar company. Get out of here, man. Now to Marjorie Taylor Greene. But yeah, no, that was like all the way through. It was like, oh, the company culture here is just garbage. That's really all it is. The company culture is just horrible. Because like I said, even if they didn't have the pig's head thing going on, they still could have won a court case for being owed so much. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Watch Marjorie Taylor Greene lose it on British reporter who asked her about Jewish space lasers.
Fuck off. Don't ask me questions about things I've said.
You to go talk about Jewish space lasers, and really, why don't you fuck off? How about that? You to go talk about Jewish space lasers, and really, why don't you fuck off? How about that?
Thank you very much.
She getting tired of people. She's tired of the man. She's tired of people holding her accountable. She's tired of the questions. She just wants people to let her do whatever she wants. Why don't you fuck off? You know what? I don't have a good answer for that. I don't have a good answer.
Thank you so much, the news agents and from London. What do you think the message should be to Nikki Haley tonight?
Well, we've been encouraging her to drop out and support President Trump, and I think tonight is the clear message that President Trump is the clear front runner. He's the winner in our Republican primary, and it's time for Nikki Haley to drop out and support him.
Do you think President Trump, Mr. Trump, is closer to picking his VP, and should you be on that list?
Oh, that's the question everyone asks, and no, I don't think Nikki Haley should be on the list. But of course, President Trump will choose who he wants for VP.
Would you like to be on that list?
He's got a long list. I support President Trump in any way he'd ask me. But I can assure you it won't be Nikki Haley.
And can you tell me why so many people that support Donald Trump love conspiracy theories, including yourself? He seems to attract lots of conspiracy theorists.
Well, let me tell you, you're a conspiracy theorist, and the left and the media spreads more conspiracy.
You're a conspiracy theorist. No, yeah, I know I am, but what are you? I know you are, but what am I? Oh, God damn it, I fucked it up. Gosh, just shut up. Just fuck off. Just go away. Leave me alone.
Theories. We like the truth. We like supporting our Constitution, our freedoms, and America first. So,
what about Jewish space lasers? Tell us about Jewish space lasers.
Why don't you go talk about?
Is she drunk?
Tell us about Jewish space lasers.
Why don't you go?
No, I don't think she is.
First, so
what about Jewish space lasers? Tell us about Jewish space lasers.
Why don't you go talk about Jewish space lasers? And really, why don't you fuck off? How about that?
Thanks. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Actually, you're a conspiracy theorist. Oh yeah, she is cooking today, man. She doing her thing. I'll do absolutely anything for Donald Trump, no matter what it is. I don't care. Fuck off. Fuck you. Hey man, they bout it. MAGA is bout it. MAGA is not gonna let you talk to them any type of way. You better keep that in mind. You better keep that in mind. She literally could have just walked away. That you know, if it was like that, she could have just walked away. But you know, MAGA strong. MAGA strong. We don't let nobody punk us, man. What you thought? Yeah. Maybe she was drunk because I thought that when she said, "Why don't you?" But I couldn't tell. But perhaps she is. Yeah. Maybe my intuition was telling me the truth right now. Okay, now see, guys, this is why. Look, listen. You don't, marriage can be a beautiful thing, but you don't have to do it. Okay, and this is why you don't have to do it. If you're gonna do it, make sure that both of you really want to do it. Okay, because people just be getting married and then they just be getting divorced. And my parents have been married for like 41 years. It can, it can be a beautiful thing, but the times have changed. The world has changed. And at the end of the day, what's important is partnership. But a lot of the time people get married when they're in their 20s and that can work out, but sometimes it just doesn't, and a lot of the time people think that there's some type of like spiritual magic in marriage. But at the end of the day, what marriage tangibly is you bringing the state into your relationship. Now that can have benefits and it can be good. It can be good for y'all to be under one roof, but people just be getting married, man. And it's just slow down. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure it's really something you want to do. Because again, I'm not even here to like comment on their relationship, because relationships are complicated, and just because a relationship comes to an end doesn't mean it was a failure. But I just caution people to slow down. A lot of the time people will think, and they may think that too with kids, like, things will get better when we get married, or God will bless us when we get married, or if we have a baby, we'll get better. But that's just not how it goes. And my mother and father had been married for 41 years, but before that, my mom was married. She got married when she was 19, and that didn't last long. But her second marriage lasted long. But again, my parents are in their 70s. My parents are older. So at the end of the day, what it's really about is partnership. You know what I'm saying? So, if you get married, just make sure that you've really thought about it. Put more thought into it, and also I recommend wait for the honeymoon period to go away. Congratulations, Ariola. And again, what I'm saying, again, it can go well, but oftentimes people just rush into it, and they think that there's like this magic, but nah, man. At the end of the day, whether you're married or not married, relationships are challenging because life is challenging. life is always changing our circumstances. It's changing us. It's putting us in life, puts us in different emotional states, different mind states. Life can completely change the way that we view uh, our points of view on anything. Life can completely change what we want. You know, one year we thought we wanted this, and then X, Y, and Z happens, and now we want something different because we realize our lives are going in a different direction. So, just take your time. Just take your time. Now, we ended up having an hour stream today. Monday's stream was really long. Today's was fun though. Again, Super Tuesday context. We already know what's up. It's still a dead heat race between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. There's really no clear. We don't know who the hell's going to win this thing yet. We really don't. Donald Trump is underperforming really bad, and that's gonna hurt him. He's not gonna gain all those 30 percentage points. He's not. He'll gain some of it, but he won't gain all of it. So we still got to see what happens. Joe Biden really, he knows what he needs to do. He knows what he needs to address. He's just got to do it. So, y'all have a fantastic afternoon. Y'all have a fantastic rest of the afternoon. I got some more work to do. I'm gonna get a workout in a minute. I gotta order groceries. Money. Spending money. Just spending money on bills and groceries. You know what I'm saying? But fun stream. Y'all take care of yourselves. I love and appreciate all of you. And I will see you soon.